Hi, today's lesson is about how to instructions or process essay. So let's start. Every day we perform many activities that consist of steps like making a sandwich, making a poster, or making a volcano model. A how-to essay explains how to do something, how to make something, or how something occurs in steps. We see how-to essays all the time in what we read. For example, sometimes we see magazine cover stories with titles like How to Impress Your Boss or How to Dress for the Job You Want. The purpose of how-to essay or of a process essay is to give the reader instruction or some information. Now let's talk about some how-to or process essay topics. How to maintain a good relationship with your neighbors, how to lose or gain weight, how to choose a pet, how to help children do their homework, how to be a successful student, and finally, how to make a favorite dish. Now let's talk about the essay outline. Once you are going to write a how-to essay, you should start with writing or using an outline like the following one. In the outline, you will find some titles like How to, Introduction, Materials with numbers, Instructions, and Numbers. There are some transitional words or phrases that you can use once you write a how-to essay. For example, you can use after a while, before, during, first, second, third, the final step, first of all, then, next, soon, later, in the meantime, meanwhile, currently, eventually, and finally. Now let's look at the pictures to guess the topic we are going to write about. You're going to take some seconds to think. As you see, from the pictures, we can say that the topic is how to make fresh orange juice. Now let's talk about the steps. The first step is first cut the orange into halves and remove the seeds. Second, grip the one half of the orange tightly and squeeze it by hand using a plain juicer to get the juice out. Third, scrape the orange with a spoon and add fruit directly to juice. Step number 4, add sugar and stir it with a spoon. The last step is, finally, drink and enjoy a cold glass of fresh orange juice. Now let's apply what we read previously or what we discussed into our outline. In the first place, we can say that how to make fresh orange juice. After that comes your introduction. That can be like this one. Would you like to drink a morning glass of fresh orange juice? Here are some steps that help you prepare a delicious one. Then you list the materials you are going to use, like number 1, 3 oranges, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and a plain juicer. Then you complete your outline with the instructions and you write them in time order. For example, instruction number 1, cut the orange into halves and remove the seeds. Number 2, grip the one half of the orange tightly and squeeze it by hand using a plain juicer to get the juice out. Step number 3, scrape the orange with a spoon and add fruit directly to juice. Number 4, add sugar and stir it with a spoon. The last step is to drink and enjoy a cold glass of fresh orange juice. After completing your outline, you should look at the essay structure. Once you write a how-to essay, you should start it with a title like any other type of essays. And here the title is How to Make Fresh Orange Juice. Then you write your introduction like the following one. Would you like to drink a morning glass of fresh orange juice? Here are some steps that help you prepare a delicious one. So in your introduction, you tell the reader what you are going to explain. And you tell him also that you are going to provide him or you are going to provide them with some steps to help them follow your instructions. After that comes the first body paragraph. And in this body paragraph, you are going to write a subtitle, which is materials you need or tools needed. And then you are going to list the materials or tools you need, like these ones. For example, number 1, 3 oranges, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 a plain juicer. Let's move to the second body paragraph. In your second body paragraph, you should write, of course, about instructions. And you should start with a subtitle like instructions or steps. And while writing your second body paragraph, you should use some transitional words or phrases to make your instructions easy to follow. Let's read first this paragraph. First of all, cut the orange into halves and remove the seeds. Second, grip the 1/2 of the orange tightly and squeeze it by hand using a plain juicer to get the juice out. Third, scrape the orange with a spoon and add fruit directly to juice. Fourth, add sugar and stir it with a spoon. Finally, drink and enjoy a cold glass of fresh orange juice. As you see, once we analyze the second body paragraph, we'll find out that it is about the instructions, and we used some transitional words or phrases. For example, we used that transitional phrase, which is first of all. In addition, we used other transitional words like second, third, fourth, and finally. Actually, you should use these transitional words in order to make your instructions or steps easy to follow. After that comes your conclusion. And in your conclusion, you should tell the reader or encourage the readers to follow your steps. For example, let's read this conclusion. Now you can start making a tasty orange juice just by following the previous easy steps. Now, once you write your essay, you should check it. So you should ask yourself some questions like, number 1, does my introduction identify what I am going to explain? Question number 2, do I list the materials that the reader will need? The third question is, do I list each step and are the steps in time order? Question number 4, do I include words that help the reader understand my explanation? And finally, the fifth question that arises is, are my instructions easy to follow? Now, let's do an exercise. In the following exercise, you're going to match the boxes with the correct how-to essay parts, which are introduction, first body paragraph, second body paragraph, and a conclusion. Now let's take a look and read what is mentioned inside each box. Box number 1, instructions. First, take a piece of construction paper and fold it into halves. Second, think of the theme. Third, divide the card into different sized sections and paste a picture of the card holder. Next, think of a riddle or poem and write it. Finally, add stickers to the card. Let's read the second box. Now your work is complete, so try to follow the previous steps to make your own birthday card. Box number 3. What you will need: construction paper or card, markers, crayons and colored pencils, glue, and stickers. Let's read the last box, which is box number 4. Making a birthday card on your own can be a very easy task. Here are some steps that can help you make birthday cards for the people you love. Now you have a minute to think of the answers. Let's check our answers. Box number 1 refers, as we see, to the second body paragraph. This is because, as we mentioned previously, the second body paragraph is about the instructions or the steps that the reader should follow. For the second box, it's about the conclusion, because it encourages the reader to follow the steps. Let's read it again. Now your work is complete, so try to follow the previous steps to make your own birthday card. This shows that the instructions were easy to follow. For box number 3, the answer is that it's the first body paragraph. This is because it's about the tools needed or the materials you're going to need, which are construction paper or card, markers, crayons and colored pencils, glue, and stickers. The last box, which is box number 4, shows the introduction. This is because it tells the reader what you are going to explain, plus it mentioned that you are going to mention some steps to the reader. For example, making a birthday card on your own can be a very easy task. Here are some steps that can help you make birthday cards for the people you love. Now let's sum up what we learned in today's lesson. A how-to essay explains how to make or do something, or it explains how something occurs in steps. The essay outline starts with an introduction, and in this introduction, you should identify what you are going to explain, telling the reader that you are going to mention some steps or instructions. Then comes your first body paragraph, and in this paragraph, you list the materials that the reader will need. After that comes your second body paragraph, and in this paragraph, you write the steps in time order using transitional words or phrases to make your instructions easy to understand. And finally comes your conclusion, and in the conclusion, you encourage the reader to follow your steps. This brings us to the end of our lesson for today. I hope you find it beneficial. Thank you for paying attention, and goodbye.